I haven't had anything planned out yet.
Yeah, I try to save at least 300 a month. It's going okay so far.
Yes. Make sure you take care of yourself and you spend time to relax. And don't just get too focused on your career or whatever. Find time for your family and friends. It's always very important.
I do have a planning aspiration for this year. I think I want to get married, get a house, buy a new car. And then basically based on whatever happens today, it's like all the price is going up. So maybe I will keep on with my aspiration and then basically have to work extra hard for that.
Not really, not as of yet.
And there you have it, all those 10 tips for you. That's the topic we'll be talking about.
Financial planning, basically. And I think this is always, I mean, as far as Malaysians are concerned, even people all around the world, it's always a big part of their lives. It's a big part of their conversation. How much money you're making, how much money you need to make, how much I'm in debt, how much money I wish I had. Money, 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 money. And all this because, I mean, we need it. And it's nice to have a lot of it.
So let's talk about expenditure survival, especially goal settings for this year, 2013. If you haven't already, maximizing your savings in smaller steps. We have a guest with us, Mr. Yap Ming Hui, who is a renowned columnist. My God, my English suddenly went out the window. Best-selling author and independent financial advisor. Thank you, Mr. Yap, for being here with us. Now, there's three things.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, very good morning to you.
Not polite at all.
Yeah, I know.
Good morning.
That's good. There's three things that we'll be focusing on, obviously, savings, return on investment, and as well debt management. That's three things that people would like to focus on. Now, first question is, I suppose, is how do people save? Because it's a question that people ask but don't really know what to do about.
I guess I think what I want to emphasize that because just now I think we can see from the TV there are actually quite a number of ideas as to what you could do for your financial goal setting.
Right.
So basically today I want to focus on three. Okay. Number one, how you say saving. Okay. Saving basically is important because if we do not save, then what happens is that we won't accumulate enough. Okay, to achieve financial freedom. So then every day, no matter how jammed it is, you still got to drive, come to work because you are most people who are living from paycheck to paycheck because they don't save. So only when you save, accumulate enough asset, saving, and investment so that you can live on all this asset. Then you can actually do away with active income. Okay, and also it's also important for us to save because when we save, automatically we will spend less.
Yep.
Isn't it? Because when you say, for example, you make actually 100,000, then you will actually save maybe 10,000. Then you will actually spend on 90,000 only instead of 100,000. Okay. Then maybe just now you asked me how should we save?
Yeah.
I want to give some guideline here. Now, the guideline here is if you contribute to EPF, I guess from my understanding, both of you do not contribute to EPF.
We are not. Let's say our employers don't
Contribute
EPF. We can contribute on
yourself.
our own. Yes.
Yeah, but so those people who work in companies, so employer contribute to them 12%, and then they themselves contribute 11%.
Yes.
So I would suggest these people to have a target saving of 30%, 30% of their income.
Right.
So in addition to the 11% they contribute to EPF, they should save another 19%.
Right.
Okay? Now, for some people who do not have employer contributing for them, whereby they need to save on themselves, then I would suggest them to save 35%.
Right.
So then if they would be able to save this amount, I think they can achieve financial freedom faster.
Ah.
Yes.
How did you work out to that number?
Yes.
Could you give us a breakdown, you know, what the 19% savings and the 35% savings are?
This is when I talk about someone who have got EPF, I ask them to save 30%. So for 30%, this person would actually contribute to EPF 11% already.
Yes.
No? So there's balance of 19%.
Yes.
So this person would get to actually save another 19%. So if like, this person make 100,000, so this person should actually save another like 19,000 for that year. Okay. So of course, like what you say just now, a lot of people try to save, but never end up saving much. No? In fact, worse still, they end up having credit card debt.
Yeah.
Okay. So what we suggest you to do is that to save after you spend, I can assure you, times and time again, it will never work. No? What we found is a proven method to really save money is like what our client have actually done. What they have done is that they will actually save before they spend. So say for example, 1 month you receive a salary of 5,000 ringgit. So you will actually designate maybe 500 ringgit to be saved somewhere already. It could be ASB, it could be into a unit trust, it could be into insurance. So but that money will be auto debit into the financial institution already. Yeah. So then you only spend the rest of the money. Right. So then it only will work.
So like, because I was going to ask you a question because when you said about EPF, I think a lot of people might have misunderstood and thought what you meant was savings means go EPF, savings means go EPF. So I wanted to question that because we were looking at the reason why you're saving is because you want to achieve financial freedom. But we know for a fact that EPF, you cannot take out enter what 50 or something, or 55. You can 55.
Yes.
So how does that contribute to financial freedom when the fact is you can't take the money out to buy assets or to buy things that will help you make residual income as opposed to your active income.
So that's why you cannot rely on EPF alone, whereby most Malaysians just rely on EPF alone and they thought that they are actually doing well. You know? So that's why in addition to the 11% that you contribute to EPF, there's another additional 19% that you should save.
In other forms of savings, whether it's bonds or unit trust,
buying properties, insurance, buy share, ASB, etc. Yes.
Okay, so now
that's number one.
So number two, you went on to return of investment. Now, I think this is a lot where, like, I suffered from it in a sense where not suffered lah, but you know, I grew up with fairly old-fashioned parents, so there is safe one. Whether or not you get return of investment on your savings, they don't really care, but they are very concerned. At least it is there, and then they're getting FD rates now. No knock on FD, but. It's not a lot lah.
Yes, it's very slow, very slow.
Long term, if you're patient, then
So what types of things should people when things save and then I want to get return of investment? What are the type of things should they look at buying? Number one, I can tell you what is not to buy: car. Okay, car. Because my car depreciate like I want to die like that.
In the first place, car is not investment. Okay.
I know.
So don't mislead the audience.
We know that.
Misled by the car salesperson. So basically,
as soon as you buy a car, you lose money.
That's right.
We know that.
As far as saving is concerned, the target, I think, first I want to share the target you can set. I think as far as return on investment is concerned, we need to know if you are low risk investor, you know, like for example, your mom and dad, they are now FD person. You ask them to go and jump into share market or jump into like properties, to them it may be too big a jump. So for low-risk investors like them, they should actually aim to increase the return to maybe from 3% now, maybe to maybe 6 to 8%. So that will be something more acceptable for them to move on.
Right.
Someone maybe a high-risk taker like you, maybe you should aim for a return between maybe 10 to 12%.
Right.
So maybe moderate risk investor should aim for a return between maybe 8 to 10%. So any return, so for example, some people say, these are all very slow, I want to aim very fast, I want to aim 20% return. I'm afraid to say that any target investment return that you try to target beyond 12%, say 20%, that will be speculation.
Super high risk, really.
Super high risk. Or aiming for super high return. Then you may go into like what you should not invest. Just now you say what you should not invest, just now you share car, right? So I would share what you should not invest into those scheme cepat kaya. Because instead of become cepat kaya, you may end up getting cepat bankrupt. Because your capital, your saving may even hangus. Look at those people who actually invested into like Geneva Golds and some of the gold scheme now. After Bank Negara taken action on them, so all these depositors, their money are all gone. No?
It's actually
they're gone, are frozen now. They don't know until when only they can recover the money.
Right.
So try not to go into something like that.
Yeah. Hold that thought. Now we've got some more.
We interviewed some people,
yes,
and this one is about basically the slow increase of price every year on like basic needs, the goods that are very basic, and we see what they have to say about this.
I've got no comment. I'm not sure.
I think that since we can't really do anything about the price increase, I think employers should probably increase our salary in line to actually match the price increase.
I think it's, again, it's sort of taking each step at a time and making sure that you're on top of things. If things get too expensive, you've got to be realistic about what money you have and what you can do with it.
Basically, it's all about more the needs itself, like the main reason, the slow, politics, and then the usage itself. So it will affect all the slowing price of the needs every day.
We actually cannot control much about the price, the hike in price and everything.
I guess it's a necessity with the economy because at the end of the day, everybody has to live with inflation. I'm in retail myself, so I know what it's like to have to import and export goods and having to bring up the prices a little bit every year. I guess to a certain extent it's good, but to a certain extent it's not. So it's really a very subjective question.
Now that's an interesting question. Now, obviously, with year in, year out, we have price increases, especially with necessity sugar and all that. What happens then? How it does eat into your savings, so to speak?
So that's why I totally agree with our government's initiative to want to push Malaysia to become high-income nation.
Yes.
So that's definitely very important. So I think there are two things individual like us we should do. Number one, first we must definitely increase our income. How to increase our income? Not by just asking the employer to give us more salary. Because in addition to ask for more, for the employer to be able to pay you more, you got to be more productive.
Yes.
You got to be able to add more value. You're able to generate more revenue to the company. Okay, so for that matters, I think each one of us, each Malaysian, we should aspire to be more productive, to learn, to be smarter in our work. Try to work hard at the same time, so to be smarter in our work. So that's part of getting our higher income to cope with whatever expenditure. That's number one. Number two, whatever money that we put in the bank, like what you say just now, you put the bank, actually FD, you think that it's growing slowly. The actual fact is, it's not growing at all. In fact, it's depleting.
Because at 3%, your inflation, at 6%, you're gone.
You're not really making any money.
Yes. So for that matters, you must find ways. You cannot say, I don't know, I'm very scared. You cannot do that anymore. You must find ways, like what are the other alternatives there?
Right.
Whether it's actually unit trust, whether it's actually insurance, whether it's properties, REIT, I don't know if you heard about REIT, real estate investment trust, shares, and then try to look for ideas of all these investments so that you can find the investment that can actually match the risk profile. So you cannot just say, I don't know, I'm scared, I don't want to do anything.
But this is very much also now. Yep, we are running out of time, but I think your last point here, and a lot of people at home probably like waiting for this final explanation here, debt management, because let's face it, I think a lot of us, started maybe a bit wrongly lah, started without enough information and we got into this hole. So how do we climb out of this hole that is called debt?
Yeah, I think I got maybe 2 points to share here.
Yeah.
I think if we want to actually settle our debt, we should settle the debts with the highest interest rate that we have. So I think in Malaysia, except Along, so maybe except Along.
Along all layak, you know, bank is also layak one.
Yeah. So except Along, maybe the highest interest rate you're paying is credit card. So whatever extra money, extra saving that you have every month, go to use that money to pay your credit card first.
Right.
Your housing loan, since it's lower interest rate, just leave it there. Even car loan, also you can also afford
Anything with high interest.
Yes, high interest to pay off first. Number two is that I would advocate to settle the loan, but also since the interest rate is quite low now, if you got property, you can actually use the loan. No, you don't have to take money to settle the loan so fast. You should actually have some spare money. You can actually invest into maybe another piece of property, unit trust, all those things, because the interest rate is not too high. So the idea is to a balance, not to over in debt, but also neither like have zero debt, because then you're not making
You're not maximizing.
your money
You're not maximizing.
hard enough.